Hi everyone, welcome to the Fire Mountain Gems and Beads Jewelry Making Studio. My name is Rose and it is time to celebrate. Yes, it's 4th of July time, people. So we're going to make these 4th of July fireworks earrings. But you need to be aware there's a little patience involved in these. We have to make a lot of these little drops. So let me tell you what we're going to do. We need to make 40 of these red drops plus 5 red links. We have to make 24 silver drops and 1 silver link. We have to make 5 blue drops. And I like to do that right at the start of my project. I'd have this whole table filled up with little setups like this one here. And then I'd go to town making the drops. Most of you have probably seen me make simple loops, but I'm going to explain it one more time. For this particular project, it's a little silver seed bead and then a blue bugle bead, or whatever color you're working on, and another silver seed bead. And all of them are the same. They always have the silver seed bead, a bugle bead, and then a silver seed bead. Some of them are made on eye pins, and that makes this into a link. Some of them are made on head pins, and that makes them into a drop. Now, I'm going to make a 90-degree bend with my thumbnail and my power. A 90-degree bend like that. Nip off the excess material. And I've just done this so many times, I know I want a little more than 1/4 of an inch. Making sure I don't fling the wire at anyone. Grab my round nose pliers. Grip the end. I've even got a little mark on my pliers. I can barely see it now. I've pretty much worn it off. But that's because I'm going to make a lot of loops, and I want to make the loops all the same size. So I use that as sort of my target size when I get near that little black mark. And I know what size loop I'm going to be making. And there is 1 blue drop. Like I say, we have to make a lot of them. I haven't made any of the blue ones in advance, so I'm going to whip those out right now with a nip and a roll. And I grab the next one and make a nip and a roll. You can see when you've made a few thousand of these, you can whip these out pretty quickly. It's a lot. And oh, by the way, those numbers I gave you, that was for 1 earring. You have to do it again a second time. A nip and roll. But like most patience jobs, you can do this while you're having a conversation. You can do this while you're watching TV, listening to music. Nip and roll. And there I have created the 5 blue drops. That's all we need for the blue. And I've made a bunch of silvers and a bunch of reds in advance. Okay, now the next step is to put this all together. So I'm going to use a silver jump ring. We've got a bunch of those. And put on this, we'll start with the red. Yes. I'm going to put 2 drops. Okay, so we put on 2 drops. Those are the ones that end in head pins. They're head pins. Now we're going to add a link. This is the one that I did on an eye pin. So you can see I've got a loop on the bottom of it, so that's where I can continue the earring. And 2 more drops. There's a total of 5 on each one of these. So I got 2 drops, 1 link, and 2 drops. And I'm going to attach that to an eye pin. And close it. It's pretty tight. It's only a 4mm jump ring I'm using. So you want to make sure you got your good glasses on. Make sure they're truly closed. That's our first unit. Now to that link that I've left down there at the bottom, we're going to add another unit. And this time, in silver. And where did I put my one silver? I don't see it, so I'll make one. We need one silver seed bead, a silver bugle bead, and a silver seed bead. This is the only link I need in the silver, so we'll just make one real quick. Nip and roll. Okay. Now, for this jump ring, we're going to add 2 of the silver drops. 1, 2, the silver link I just made, and 2 more silver drops. 1, 2. And this is going to be added to the red, white, and blue. So this is going on to the loop that was on that one link that we created earlier. And close it. There we go. Okay, we're going to continue on because you see we've got one loop left. Guess what we're going to add? Ha ha, blue, of course, red, white, and blue. All right, here we go. We're going to add all 5 of the links we made at the very beginning of this video. This is the end of our earring, the bottom of the earring. So it's just 5 blue links. We're not going to continue on anymore. 5 blue drops. Don't need to have any more links, but I'm going to add the blue to that one link in the silver. Ta-da! And close it. Close it good. So here's our basic unit, the center of our earring. And I'm going to add a heishi bead and another heishi bead and then the bead cap. And those heishi beads aren't actually seen. They're just there to make this all hang right. I want the red bugle beads to hang below the bead cap. So it's just to make sort of a spacer in there. On top of that, I will add a 3mm round just because I think it looks pretty. And guess what we do now? Another simple loop. You're going to be so good at simple loops when this project is done. There we go. Make the 90-degree bend. Make the nip. Use the round nose pliers. Loop, reposition, finish the loop. Okay. So once we add an ear wire, that's basically a really kind of a pretty earring, just like that. But we're going to go a step further and add the fireworks. So now we've got this. We're going to make some firework units, which are just red and white. With one of these 4mm silver-plated jump rings, we're going to make a bunch of these units. We're going to have that, open that. We're going to do what we did before, which is 2 reds, 2 red links, 2 red drops, then a red link, and 2 red drops. Just like we did at the very, very beginning, because this is what continues our earring. And that goes onto one of these loops in the side of the bead cap. So we put that through that loop right there. So it's a great way to use a bead cap to make a chandelier. And close it. Now we don't want to have 9 loops around. That's overkill. So the next one we're going to add, next unit we're going to add there is going to be without a loop. Just 5 red drops. So we'll put 5 of those on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red drops. So we've got one here already attached on the side with 4 red drops in a loop. So this next hole is going to be just 5 red drops. So that's not going to continue. That's a dead end piece right there. That stops it. And we're going to continue around with with a loop, no loop, loop, no loop, loop, no loop, loop, no loop, until we get all the way around this earring. And then, once we get to that point, we will add the silver part. And this time, each one of the silvers will have just 5 silver drops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, one more. 5 silver drops. And each one of these that has a loop will now get a silver drop. And we are near the end, folks. That is how it's done. All it takes now is your patience to make all those drops and all those links. Let me put the last one on. So this is an almost finished necklace earring. All we need is there's one empty hole right there. Let's fill that hole up. With one of those units, we're going to have 5 silver on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you could do it in this order too. I did it in the other order, but it doesn't matter what order you go in as long as you get that end result. So that's just got 5 drops on it. I'm going to add that to a red link. There we go. And now to that unit, remember the pattern here. It's a drop, which does not have a loop on the end, another drop, and this is the link, this part that I made into a unit. That's the one that does have a drop on the end, has a loop on the end, and then 2 more red drops. Don't let the terminology affect you. Just remember the final result is we're going to have 4 that stop and 1 that keeps continuing. And this will go in the very last gap I have here. 1 little loop left on that bead cap that I had not filled yet. Close it up. So I filled up that last little gap. And here's our fabulous earring. Oh, it's not an earring yet. We must add the ear wire. Here we go. I love these ear wires. This is a perfect balance ear wire with a stardust ball on it. I love them. Put that onto your earring. And as always, when you're opening and closing loops, you're going to twist open and twist closed. And there you have it. A fantastic 4th of July fireworks earring, and you are going to be the hit of the picnic. My name is Rose. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a happy 4th and happy beading.